issues. But I don't see the issue occurring with the suspension per se. Man, if this suspension has issues that we need to send it back and hey, fix this, then that's like bombs, you know. Sad for everybody who bought it the first time. But I don't see issues coming with the suspension per se. Here's some questions I posted. And guys, get your questions ready if you have any questions. This is what I posted. The first question I had was, will the pedals fold up?
I remember you asking that. I don't see why it wouldn't. Depending on if they have the magnets. But some of them don't even use magnets. Some of them just go up just with tension too. So it depends on how that. I'm sorry for moving the camera. I don't have a tripod.
Okay.
It depends on how they market it. You know, if they're going to go with magnets or they're just going to go with a tension. As you flip it up, it just stays up. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. But it would be better if the pedals do flip up. I know on my RS right now, I put some padding down at the bottom so the pedals kind of come down a little bit, and it gets annoying a little bit.
Yeah, because Black Cobra, I mentioned it in my fail live that I was trying to set up the other day.
I was there. I stuck around, man. Yeah,
I saw
it's all good.
But I saw a video of, I'm not sure if I think it was Electric Dreams because he's the only one right now out there that's posting his videos. But he showed the adjustable side pads coming down, and he wasn't able to put up the pedal.
Yeah, I guess if you drop the pedals down, I mean, if you drop those side pads down too far, the pedals might get in the way. So, I mean, that makes sense. But we'll just have to see if they'll find a way around that.
But that's what I'm saying. That this is where I see issues. It's like an afterthought. Like, did they not think about this?
I don't know.
Because I tried to do the Law thing, and Law has, like, you know, he makes custom pads or whatever.
Right.
I decided to look at his video, watch his video, and create my own. And I wasn't really into pads until I went off-roading and until I rode with him and others. And I'm like, holy smokes, I need pads. So
yeah, I learned that at the rally.
Oh, you were there. Yeah, you were there.
I was there, dude.
Oh my God.
I said the same thing. I need some pads, man.
I was like, oh shoot, I need some pads because dude, you never know where you're gonna ride. But anyway, I have issues putting up my pedals, and even so, with my custom design, I'm thinking of putting magnets somewhere inside the whatever that is in order to pull it up. But for a company, dude, like Kingsong, come on, I'm thinking that they would have already figured this out. Now, if I like, remember, adjusting your pads is a thing, man. Like, you adjust your pads a certain way, you don't want to have to give up. I don't mind riding around with my pedals sticking out only because I like the way I set up my pads.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But that's just me. I have no money. I don't have a research team. I don't have anything like that. This is a company. So
no, I feel you on that.
To tell me, look, you have to put your pads back up in order to fold your pedals, that seems like an afterthought to me. Also, if you look closely, let me see if I can get it. There's something I wanted to show. Hold on for a second. Kingsong. So there's this site, guys. I don't know if you know about it, but it's called Kingsong S20.com. Do you guys know about this site?
No.
Yeah, check it out. It's called Kingsong S20. It's a great site. I'm not sure if it's from Kingsong or what, but that site looks friggin' amazing. It has everything you need to know about the Kingsong S20, so definitely go check it out. Anyway, this is the site. It has all this data. But what I want to focus on is this right here, is the pads themselves, okay? I want to focus on the pads. So if you
how they move up and down.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you look at the pads, you see that? But no, not move up and down. I find that genius, but that's not what I'm concerned about here. I'm not concerned about the moving up and down part. Here's what I'm concerned about. Hold on. Here is what I'm concerned about. Come on, these images keep moving. I want a still image, something that doesn't move. Okay, there we go. So if I zoom into this, now we know that when you purchase a pad from Clark Pads or wherever you want to purchase it from, customization is very important.
100%.
Okay, so it's the cool thing about Clark pads, from what I understand, it's not a one size fit all. You know,
Right.
you call him, you contact him, and he even has the adjustable ones or whatever. You know,
Right.
if you
I have
look
them
at
on my
the,
Tesla, and they
yeah,
come
and
in
it's good.
different sizes. Yeah. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
good. They're good
yeah.
pads.
So if you look at the bottom pad right here, this part, that's not adjustable. Like when I say adjustable, I mean it's not adjustable in the X. Is that the XY?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like if you have like a wider calf or leg, you might, you know what I mean? You
Dude,
might
you're
have
stuck. You're like, what
Yeah.
the freak? Like, yeah, like, so I'm not.
That's that could be an issue.
Yeah.
And these are the small things that I was thinking about. You know what I mean? I'm really not worried about the suspension. I think the suspension is going to
Hmm.
work fine, but it's everything else that goes into it. It's almost like if you're I know this is right off the top of my head, like if you're putting up a Christmas tree. Now, I haven't done that in years, but you have every little, like you have the tinsel, you have the lights, you have the you know what I mean? Every
No,
little
I don't.
thing to
I
come
don't follow
together
Christmas. Sorry.
to bring it together. You know what I mean? Or even building a car from scratch. Every little piece has to come together in order for that car to run smooth. And this is the stuff that I was talking about, waiting for the second or third batch. Like I'm really not worried about the suspension, but like you said, the pads. I'm curious about the Halleluyah sensor. You know how that's going to integrate. So how are all these things going to mesh together to make this thing run smooth? And that's one thing that I'm
And what's
curious
interesting
about.
is the video, and this is probably why somebody said this. Okay, they're probably stringing us along. Whereas the Hero, okay, yes, it's only 80 millimeters of travel, but we can't expect much from Gotway because they're not really into that. They're just giving you what you need, and I think they did a fantastic job. They did a fantastic job copying the S18 and adding more to it, like the screen, the lights,
Mm-hmm.
the integrated kickstand. I mean, everything looks beautiful, right?
Right.
You saw it in real life. You saw how it operated in real life with Kuji rolls. That's awesome. I'm very, very happy. Whereas this one, when we saw them ride it, put a 1 in the chat, put a 1 in the chat, put a 1 or a thumbs up in the chat if you feel the video from Electric Dreams, the wheel appeared to be a prototype. You know what I mean? Like it appeared to be a prototype.
Oh yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying too. Like I think you had mentioned it too. Like some of the colors like didn't match and everything. I'm I'm more of the visual type, meaning that I think they had the wheel together. I don't think they're going to put out something and basically mar what they did with the S18. I think the S18 really helped change EUCs. Now you've been in it longer than I have, so you've seen more of a progression than me, you know. But I don't think they would come in and put something out that's going to be the same. I think they're definitely going to put something out that's going to elevate what they have. I believe that 100%.
Well, someone was saying they were stringing us along, and
Uh,
I feel the reason they were the person whoever said that felt they were stringing us along. I think it was Real Talk, is because they probably don't have everything ready. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can understand that too. But in anything that you make, it takes time, it takes effort. I can imagine the people that developed this thing had a lot of sleepless nights, man. It goes into doing things like this. But I don't see why they would want to string us along. I believe that they probably had this thing for a while. I do, especially something of this magnitude. I don't think it's something that you can take and just slap together.
Okay, hold on. Okay, he said it was a prototype. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hmm.
But just keep in mind, guys, you gave money for a prototype, just so you know. But you know that's good. That's good because you're showing interest. So it's a double-edged sword. You're paying to be a first because Sensei Vegan, you can agree with me. We are the test dummies.
Oh, we are the crash test dummies for these things. Now, I mean, the thing about the prototype, that prototype can be months old. It
That's
doesn't necessarily mean that they made it like a week ago. They
that's
could have
true.
been riding on this prototype for a while and then fine tuning it. So that's another way to look at it as well.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention that, probably that affected the price too. I don't know. But because you're getting a lot, you're getting a whole lot here, man. You're getting a whole lot of wheel for very little money, relatively speaking, compared to the other wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so my next question that I had, did you have questions for them? Did you have questions that you wanted to share?
No, I'm good, man. I'm just here for the ride, man. So shoot the question.
So yeah, so this right here is a problem. If that's how it's going to be shipped. Now, my question is it removable? Are these pads removable? Because if they're removable, then you could put in your Clark pads. You could put on whatever pads you want. You could put in your custom pads. You know what I mean? So I think making it removable, yes, adjustable is amazing. It's dynamic. It's revolutionary. Blah blah blah. But the ability, if you can remove it without much work, I think that's even more revolutionary. Because now you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
That would definitely help out. We just have to see how it's connected on there. That's the issue. Once you remove it, because if it's moving around, if you're able to adjust it, that means there has to be a mechanism underneath it to help it move up and down. Now, is that going to be in a way?
It's removable.
Oh, okay. Well,
hey Simon, how can you verify that? I don't want to just say it is. How can you verify? Did I miss something in the? They are removable. Jack said that, so it looks like I missed two things Jack said. When did he say that? I don't remember him saying that. Where did he say it? Was it in the video? Swagger and E. Simon. It was in the video, right? How can we verify that these pads are removable?
But are they removable and you can replace them with other pads, or are they removable?
Oh, he said when he was on with Black Cobra.
Okay.
Okay.
But are they removable with or replaceable with other brands of pads, or you have to use the Kingsong pad? You understand what I mean? That's something that has to be answered as well.
Right. Because didn't they wait? Is there a part in there where they say it's what was that word we used for the veteran Sherman? Modular.
I did hear the word modular.
Yeah, so that's a very good question, Sensei. Is it modular in the sense that I could just remove the pads in case it breaks and replace it with an equivalent Kingsong pad, or can I remove it and put whatever pad I want?
Yeah, that's the question that needs to be answered. I'm not sure. I'm definitely sure that you can remove it and replace it with a Kingsong pad, because these things are going to get damaged eventually.
Yeah, Simon says it's replaceable with a normal pads, Jack said. So he keeps saying Jack said. So that's good. Good question. Wow, cool. Thanks, Mr. Swagger. You are on the game. Simon, sorry. You are on the game. Okay, okay. You can add now what I want to see, because what I'm realizing now is Jack is saying one thing and we're seeing what he's presenting. So my question is he trying to preempt what they haven't done to keep us happy, or is this something that's a reality? Do you get my question? Am I confusing?
No, you're not confusing at all. Are they showing all their cards? Basically, I think that's what you're saying. Are they showing everything? I don't know. I think they're holding some things back. I don't think they're going to tell us everything. But when we see his, because he has a ride review coming out very soon with the wheel.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm hyped up to see, and that will answer a lot of the questions that we have right now. Once you see it out in the field, how he moves, and his reviews are normally really good too. And he doesn't baby the wheel, man.
No, he doesn't. He killed two wheels. He killed a Sherman.
Dude,
he killed it.
I love his reviews, and I love Alien Ride's reviews, because those dudes, they run the wheels, man. They run them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one question I had. Guys, put your questions in the chat if you have any, so I can post them out. I have another question. Can this thing handle a crash, considering it's meant for off-roading? It's a simple question. A lot of people had the same question. But if you look at this wheel, if you look at it for what it is, when I look at it, I don't see continuity. So what I mean by continuity is I don't see one solid. Oh, by the way, yes, good point. Swagger said, That's why they built the frame with a flat surface so that you can take out the pads and add whatever you want. So I just wanted to mention that. So that makes sense. Yeah, similar to the Hero, by the way. But yeah, if you look at this wheel, you're seeing parts. You just what is this? What is this right here? What is this? Let's just say I'm a normal person just looking at this. It looks great, but look at the lights. The lights in the front, for example. The lights in the front are, they're modular as well. They're modular and they're held by screws. Now, the cool thing about the lights is you have this bumper right here. This bumper, actually, the way I interpret it, is to protect the lights, actually, from getting any impact. Doesn't mean that it won't get impacted, but it does look like it's definitely there to protect the light. If you look at the shocks, goodness gracious, the selling point of this wheel is the look, obviously, but the selling point is the suspension. But look at this chamber. It's exposed.
It looks like if it goes down, parts are going to come off. It does. It looks delicate. It does. I'm not even going to lie about that. If you compare it to the Hero looks more solid. It looks like if the Hero goes down, it's just going to slide. You can pick it up and jump right back on it and ride it. This looks like if it does a cartwheel or two, the pads are coming off. You might bend the suspension arm back there or the air chamber. So I'm curious with that as well to see how they pull that off. Hopefully it's more durable than what it looks. It looks fantastic. Like I said, it looks like a sport bike, but we all know what happens when sport bikes hit those plastic fairings and stuff.
They go everywhere.
They crack up. Yeah, they crack up. As a matter
of fact, my neighbor, he has a sports bike, like an amazing Ducati. And it looks great. It looks fantastic. But you know what he has around it? He has a rail, a protective.
He has that cage. Yeah.
He has the cage.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at this, we compare it. We're all comparing it to a sports bike, but dude, I think if I had the skills to create rails like I did for the MSP, that would be my first thing, is to create a rail for this thing. Because it just looks like if it crashes, dude, in any way. I mean, just look at it. Just look at the chamber. Just look at the chamber. Right. It's completely.
Even the kickstand in the back, I think it's functional. But if you come jumping off something like a curb, it might smack the back of that kickstand. That might hit off of something.
And that thing doesn't look like it can take a huge impact.
Right. I think a lot of people will probably be taking that kickstand off. I mean, I'm just being honest. It looks like you can knock it around. So I don't know.
Yeah. So these are concerns. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying this looks fantastic. We all agree it looks fantastic. But the point of this show so far is to bring it down to reality.
Well, one thing that I would say the reality is this is not for a beginner rider. This is for an advanced rider. It is.
And why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Well, we've all started, and we know you're going to dump the wheel. And a lot of times when you first start, you have some violent dumps. It's not like the wheel just falls over, dude. The wheel cartwheels, you know what I mean? Head over heels, and it falls in some weird position.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an issue for a beginning rider. I guarantee if you're starting out on this thing, parts are going to be coming off. Not because it's made bad. It's just you're going to wreck it. That's why I say anyone that's starting out riding, you might want to go with an S18 over the S20 because it's.
It's so funny. The live I wanted to do yesterday was all about that.
Yeah.
But I'm smoothing it out. So I'm prepping it, doing it nice so that I can present it again Sunday coming. But it's all about that. It's all about how, and you said it in one of your video, in one of when you came on live the last time, you said it. You said, don't let anyone pressure you. And guys, this is for you. I know you're tantalizing and you have money up the wazoo and you've dove into the deepest ocean and to get the pearls to purchase this amazing wheel. But guys, the best advice Sensei Vegan has given so far is that you should not feel pressured to buy the most advanced wheel. Like, do whatever you want. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what you can do or can't do, but I'm just saying, man, like if you really want if you really want to wear the badge of a veteran rider, you know, not the Sherman veteran, just someone who's been riding for a while and truly like understand your wheel and be able to adapt to your environment based on what you're riding, dude, like anything else, it takes time. It takes time. And it doesn't have to be 4 years. It doesn't have to be 2 years. It doesn't even have to be a year. But what it has to be is you need to appreciate the progression of wheels. So, you know, Sensei Vegans, go on, Sensei Vegan, tell them.
Yeah, appreciate the process. You know, I always tell people, don't have the herd mentality. Some great wheels to start out with. The V10F is excellent. The Tesla T3. What's that? The 14? Is there a 14D? I think by Kingsong, the 16D, 16X, something like that. Even an M10-3. You want something that, you know, you can handle. Weight is a huge factor. I believe this wheel is going to weigh like 77 pounds. And I don't care what anybody says. You feel the weight. Don't let anybody tell you different. Oh, you don't. Yes, you do. You do feel the weight. I noticed going from my Tesla to my RS, I was like, wow, it's a big difference. So imagine you've never ridden a wheel and you're going to jump on something that weighs 77 pounds that can do 44 miles an hour. You might run into some problems. And that's just like guys that'll tell you, advanced motorcycle riders, I'll tell you to start out like on a 250 or even like a 125 dirt bike or something before trying to get a 750 or a 1200cc bike. Because some of these guys, they get these bikes, they get them up, you know, they run them up high and end up crashing on them. It's just too much bike for them. So get something that's in your skill level, something that's going to be comfortable for you to ride and that you're going to have fun riding. Because if you get something that's way out of your league, it's not going to be a fun experience. It's not.
It's just not going to be a fun experience. And the worst part is you won't be able to enjoy what it is to have an EUC.
Not at all. Not at all. It not at all. And then you have more of a chance of hurting yourself too. And that's if you're hurt, like you said, you can't ride. So
you can't ride, dude. And you're gonna but yeah, this is just our advice. Do whatever you want. You know what I would say? You really want the wheel? Fine. Get the wheel. Park it. The wheel.
Yeah.
Get the wheel and park it. Just put it somewhere and get a loaner wheel from someone else. That way you can come home, look at the wheel, test it in the house, but don't ride it outside. Just get your Tesla, get your little M10, get your InMotion V11. Not these are expensive wheels, but get something that's manageable. And then that way you could appreciate this, dude. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna get this wheel, you're gonna smash it. Not everybody. I'm gonna stress this. Not everybody, because there are people out there who are freaking marvels. These people get the wheel and they ride.
Right. Yeah, you do have some prodigies out there.
Yeah, they're really good.
Another great thing you can do is, again, learn on a lesser wheel. Go to a demo day, and once you learn how to ride, you can go test the wheel out and see if it's something for you. And I believe he's on stream now, Tommy from EUC Vibes. I thank him to this day because I actually got to try out the RS.
Hey, EUC Vibe, call in, man. EUC Vibes. Well, you don't have to show your camera. You do not.
And that was one of the
camera EUC Vibes.
And that was one of the reasons why I got the RS. You know, I got to ride the wheel at the rally, and I was like, man, this thing feels fantastic. I want to get one of these things. So if I never got to test ride the RS, I would have probably never got it. So that's another good thing too. Learn how to ride. I don't care if it's on a 9-bot, an air wheel, something. Get your skill up. If you find someone that's having a demo day, try to wheel out. Or if you go to a group ride and someone has an S18, ride the S18. If you like the S18, more than likely you're going to love the S20. But just go in progression and follow the steps, and your wheel life will be much more enjoyable than just running out there throwing down over $3,000 on a wheel, and you're like at the circus just doing cartwheels on it. It's not going to be fun.
Right. So let me see. Another question I have here is let me see what EUC Vibe is saying. UStride, it's amazing how fast the landscape changed, because when you dropped that these wheels were dull. Video right before you made the URL. That's right. So a while back, I made a video that said EUCs, the way they're made at that time, were
I remember that.
And they were dull. And it was just dull. Okay, the first time it came out was cool. MSX, Tesla, all these amazing wheels. They were great, but at some point you're gonna have to be like, change, man, change and create something more amazing, right? But no, they just kept making the same thing over and over and over again. And I was more pointing it out to Gotway. Mostly I was pointing at most of the Gotway because Gotway makes amazing performance wheels without the amazing protection that you need for performance wheels. But then Kingsong came out, and these wheels today, anything but dull. Anything but dull. Like, what? So another question I have is he says, ESC Vibe says, thanks Sensei. It was great meeting. Oh, so yeah, this yeah, guys, this is important. Like, if you can meet someone out there to help you, if you're new, that is, to learn, to experience a brand new wheel, dude, that's priceless.
It is.
So another question I have is how, okay, I already asked that question. How adjustable are the side pads? Okay. Will there be tilt back at 43 miles per hour, or will the tilt back be activated at a much lower speed, like 38 miles per hour? See, one of the most amazing things I like about both InMotion and Kingsong is that their tilt back feature is non-compromising and non-negotiable. So you can't negotiate it. It's just there. The problem I have with them is that because it's non-negotiable and because they literally prevent you from hitting the top end of what that wheel is capable of dishing out, they tend to draw it back like at least 3-4 miles before the top speed. So you're not experiencing the top speed, like, you
might kick in at like 38 or 39 miles an hour, somewhere around in there. Yeah,
exactly.
And then you have to force it almost ride the tilt back to get it to the 44. I guess you would have to do.
Exactly. You have, and it's not bad for most people. Most people won't care, but for riders like me, I freaking care, man, because I will rip that thing apart and try to make it go faster.
Yeah, you push your wheels, man.
Well, not just me, a lot. Yeah, but the thing is, this type of wheel needs to be pushed because it has everything you need. It has the power, it has the battery, it has the suspension, it has everything you need. The speedometer, come on, man. But yeah, that's so the InMotion V12, for example, that was one of their issues, right?
Yeah. It would get up to, it says 43, but you would start feeling a kickback, like 38, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember EVX's video. But yeah, it kicks in early. Now, he said you can get it up there, but it's almost like you would have to push it, and then you would have to ride the tilt back in a sense, But,
yeah, and that by itself is good. Okay, that's like idiot proof because it's not like Gotware where you have to feel it out, and then pull back once you feel the dip forward. That's great. I love it. But I just hope that it's 43 miles per hour plus 3-4 miles per hour buffer.
Well, Tommy can answer that for us too. He has the V12. Let's if he can pop in, the speed dampening or what it is, because he has the V12. Tommy, could you answer that for us, man? It's fast. I mean, I'm not sure what you've had it up to so far.
You're talking about Tommy from EUC Vibes?
Yeah, he has the V12.
No, he said he's in a car, so he said he's gonna try to call in a little later if we're still on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that. I think, like I said, I think Kingsong is the right company to do what they're doing because they offer that tilt back feature. I know you said you're waiting on what InMotion has to do, but I'm gonna be the one that disagrees with you because I don't think.
Oh no, that's all good. Yeah,
I don't think InMotion has anything in store for anything because they compromise a lot. That's the problem with InMotion.
See, this is my thing, like manufacturing, and that Gotway did it, man. Now they maybe didn't go as extensive as they could, but these companies get these wheels and they rip them apart, and they'll take a look and see what the other manufacturers are doing. So I guarantee you that InMotion had to take and look at an S18 and see, okay, this is what you guys are doing. Let's see what makes you tick. And I believe they're in a lab. I'm not going to sleep on them. I'm not going to say it's going to be a perfect wheel, but I am just really, I keep using the word curious, man. I just want to see what they're going to do because
You have hopes.
Yeah,
You have hope for
yeah,
emotion.
because dude, they're in a position. They're in the best position right now because everyone has shown their cards and they
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's they're in a powerful position right now to to really make a move. So I'm just want to see what are they going to take advantage of it, and then because usually when my mind is set on what I'm going to get, I get it. Like I said, I wanted the V2, I got the V2. I always wanted the RS, I got the RS. So
Mhm.
once my mind is pretty much set, I end up getting what I want. So, but
Okay.
I
Good.
normally just take my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what they have to offer. Um, Next question. Okay, so dude, when I heard this from EUC Vibes video, I was like, holy smokes, that is thinking forward. This is what exactly is Hall sensorless software technology? Did you hear about that?
I did. Well, I mean, in a nutshell, for me, from what I could see, it's what keeps you balanced. And that's what keeps you upright, and I
Mhm.
think it's going to help prevent a lot of cutouts because that was one of the main things with EUCs, man. We've all seen the cutout videos.
Yeah,
So,
and cutouts obviously has a lot to do with overpowering the wheel, right? But
hmm
um, do you know of many people having issues with their Hall sensors?
I really don't hear it much, man. I don't hear that many people having problems with the Hall sensor. But
There's only, there's only one group ride I've been on, and I recorded it. It's in my video. When I went out with the New Yorkers, there was one guy who crashed, and I'm not sure if it's because of his Hall sensor going bad, but he
hmm
crashed because he couldn't figure out why he crashed. But he crashed, and then when he tried turning on his wheel again, it wouldn't balance.
oh,
So
then that was definitely the Hall sensor
yeah,
then.
David. Yeah,
Yeah.
David took it. We thought it was the board, whatever. David took it, and he found that it was the Hall sensor.
Was it
So
that David Jansen, right?
Jansen, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he knows his stuff about wheels.
Yeah, he took it apart, and it came out to be that the Hall sensor was because everything looked fine. Like we took it apart in the video, we took it apart. We looked at the board, we looked at everything. Everything looked perfect. Like no overheating, nothing. Unlike my high speed MSP, where you could clearly see the capacitor blew. There was
hmm
literally like a puff, out of the capacitor. This thing,
Looks like the bottom of an ashtray, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. It's like the wheel was smoking cigarettes. But
Yeah.
but no, this guy's wheel looked perfectly fine, perfectly fine. And then when he took a look, well, someone took a look at the motor and found out, whoa, it's the Hall sensor. That's why it's not. So Hall sensor technology is great in the sense that if something goes bad, you can still ride at least to where you need to get to, if that's what it is. I have no idea. They didn't expound on it, but it would be
Right.
something great to try to get into here. Um, so yeah, I'd really like to see what that is. Now they say it's software. It's Hall sensorless software technology.
hmm
So I'm not understanding why it's software. You know, I'm not even sure how that would
Yeah,
work.
I'm not sure about that. But I mean, the base. I mean, when you really break it down, there's really not much to these things.
Yeah, but if you look, let's say if
Yeah.
you have, I don't know how many Hall sensors are in a motor, but let's say you have 24 Hall sensors and one Hall sensor goes bad. Maybe they'll recalibrate because the whole idea with Hall sensor is to detect magnetic. It detects rotation,
hmm
I guess, and they use magnets to determine a bunch of things. Can you explain? Can somebody explain? But anyway, I don't see how it would work software wise. I have no idea. I would like more explanation about that. But the last question I have is, are the 12 MOSFETs redundant or just placed in parallel or series or something like that in case some go bad? Because, on Overheat Hill, that's where we've learned a lot about MOSFETs is Marty burning them
Yeah.
off. So
Marty and Chooch is pretty much where I learned about MOSFETs. I know when you're up, over torquing a wheel and things like that, or going up a steep grade, usually that's the trouble they would have.
yeah.
MOSFETs burn out, man.
Yeah, so what I looked up a few days ago, and I'll probably try to make a video on it. But there's something called the redundancy technology. So for those of you who don't understand, redundancy technology is basically I'm eating an apple, the apple goes bad, I have another apple that's pretty good, and I'll just keep eating. So
Right.
that's basically what redundancy technology is. You have a bunch of MOSFETs, and then you have another set of MOSFETs that's there just in case some go bad. and then you'll have a relay or something, software relay, which is a hardware piece that flips the switch to the working piece. That way you're not out of a MOSFET.
Makes sense. So if one or two goes out, you're not out of the game.
You're not out of the game, exactly.
Yeah.
At which by that point it would probably throw an error, but it won't prevent you from riding your wheel.
Right.
So if that's what it is, damn. If not, I'm really curious to see what it is, because the alternative would be they just have more MOSFETs, and it's not redundant. It's just more. Because each MOSFET is
We're definitely going to find out soon.
Yeah, I need to find out.
I can't wait for that. Like I said, hopefully when Jack does that review video, the riding, he explains, goes further into depth on all that stuff.
And this is why I went. So guys, if you have any questions to ask, because we're going to close the show, EUC Vibes, if you're still out, please chime in. Let me throw the link again if you're here. So anybody, we're going to close out soon. Please chime in. Let's see if there are any questions. Do you guys have any questions that you want to ask Kingsong? Any questions at all?
I do have one.